gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of Paranormal Buzz Radio or its sponsors. Use of any materials produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is strictly prohibited. For information on everything Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Listener discretion is advised.
Paranormal Buzz Radio is proud to present Girls vs. Ghosts Media's The Dr. Gina Show with Gina Marie. Gina is a psychic medium and an intuitive counselor who has a bachelor's degree in psychology, master's degree in counseling, and a doctorate degree in occupational therapy. The Dr. Gina Show is live on Spreaker every other Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific, right here on Paranormal Buzz Radio. Be sure to follow Gina on all her social media. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Gina Marie. Welcome to the show. Here's Gina.
Hi, everybody. It's been, I think, at least 2 weeks, possibly 3. So I'm glad to be talking to you all today. I am not in New York tonight. I'm in New Jersey, so I cannot see chat, but chat is open, so feel free to comment. Shay is looking at the comments, and when she comes on, we will go over the questions, but chat is open, so feel free right now to comment, say anything you want in chat, and feel free to interact with each other. And when Shay comes on, we will go in and answer the questions. So tonight's topic that I'm going to talk about is Akashic Records. And I want to thank everyone that's listening, everyone that might listen to the pre-recorded show. Thank you so much. And always want to thank Shay and Matt for being the host of Paranormal Buzz Radio. Thank you so much. And also today is like kind of a special day for me, sort of. So, because I had this Facebook memory come up, and it was a year ago that I started my first podcast with Girls vs. Ghosts, and the post had come up as a memory. So it's been a whole year since I started, even though I started with Girls vs. Ghosts, and now I'm over here with Shay at Paranormal Buzz Radio. So it's been a year, and it went so fast, and I just want to thank everyone that's been listening to me and following me. I really appreciate all of you and all my followers on social media. Thank you so much. And I am doing lives now as well. I was just talking about this with Shay. The lives that I do for Weird Weekends behind the third eye. It's funny, but we were just talking about, like, this is audio, but the lives, you can actually see me. It's kind of difficult. Not that I really fix up for it, but it's nice to just do audio. But anyway, you can catch me on lives. It's usually Thursday night. So as most of you know, but if you're just listening to the Dr. Gina Show for the first time, I am a psychic medium. Yes, I have a doctorate degree. My doctorate degree is in occupational therapy, which is, I have been a counselor as my undergrad. So when you have sessions with me, it's kind of a combination of my psychic, my medium, my counseling, so everyone knows, like, you're getting a combination. I do channel a universal energy, which is the council, and what I call them and what they're like is like the CEOs of heaven. Like, so it's not just like I'm channeling one spirit. Like when I do my galleries, I'll talk to like Aunt Eleanor, Cousin Frank, and everyone like that. When I channel the council, and if you've ever been to one of my galleries, you'll know that the council is in charge of your Akashic records. So that's who I channel. and you always see my hashtag, Journey of the Soul. That is pretty much your book that you write, your Akashic records, all your soul contracts, your soul family. It's just all your records, and that's who I channel, the council. And they help my clients. They need to help me a little more. I can't do it for myself as much, but they help my clients, guide them on the soul's journey. And I remember when I've obviously been a medium since birth, psychic medium, born witch since birth. However, I remember getting like a lot of information. I started kind of using like playing cards, and I'd always wonder, how come I can't always predict the future? It would drive me crazy when I was like kind of messing around new. I was always wondering, how come I don't know the exact future? It bothered me. I would get it, most of the time, but most of the time, this was before I even knew I was talking to the council, who I was channeling, anything like that. I always wondered that. And then, I remember having, a really deep conversation with who I thought was, my spirit guides at the time. And I was talking to them, and I said, so, what do you guys want me to call you? And they said, the council. The council. And I just remember, okay, the council. And as I was first channeling the council, I used my main spirit guide, which everyone knows is Christopher, and he would help me because I was talking to, I say, the council, there's at least, like I said, at least 7 people. To tell you the truth, I really don't know exactly all the council and who they are, but I know that I'm not always talking to one energy. There's, a bunch of them that I talk to. So, Christopher, my guide, would help me because it was a difficult channel for me to get through. Just like if I'm doing a gallery, when I talk to dead people, they come in all different areas. Well, the council was coming to me, but I needed some help, and I used my guide, Christopher. I haven't used Christopher in a long, long time. He's still here with me when I do channel the council, but I do have a clearer, direct contact with the council, and I'm able to hear messages very clearly from them. So he's still there, but again, it's kind of like, do you remember when you're a kid, you kind of play around and you put a paper cup up to your ear, and your friend puts a paper cup up to your ear, you kind of pretend you're talking to each other. It's kind of just like that clear connection. It's just from one end to another, I clearly hear it. And if you've been to my galleries, you had an in-person reading with me, you'll see that either my eyes, they dilate or they go back, or when I'm in that type of council connection, I shift a different way. And if I'm speaking with a spirit, if I let that spirit speak through me, I will take on a lot of the personality traits of the spirit, and I go back and forth. So I don't stay in a direct channel. If you're at a gallery with me and I'm channeling, I come in and out. I never lose complete control for too long a period. So maybe 3 to 5 minutes, but I come in and out. So like I said, tonight is going to talk about Akashic records, and I will be doing, of course, some channeling, letting the council give you some information about what they feel is the Akashic records, and I will be giving you some of my accounts. So it's going to be a little bit of back and forth. The Akashic records happens to be one of my favorite things to do because, again, when people come to me because they want to talk to their dead relatives, of course. That's why I do galleries. However, a lot of people come to me because they want, guidance on their journey of the soul and what that is. And some people come to me just because they want some psychic intuition, which is an energy channel. And some people come to me just because I have a doctorate in counseling. So I get a lot of combinations. But to me, of course, I love talking to dead spirits, your aunts, your relatives. I love that. But the council to me is super, super, super amazing to me because there's such a guidance. And I've never found, and feel free, clients, to chat this up, because when I come on, I like to know your opinion on this. So if anyone's ever had a reading from me, I like to know what they feel about the information that you guys got if you had a reading with me from the council, because to me, it's super amazing. Like, the guidance that I hear that they give to my clients is just, like, you can't go wrong. If you follow what they say, it's just they never guide you wrong, never. And a lot of times I'll look at an energy and I'll get like a percentage, because it's never like 100. Sometimes it's 100%, but someone would ask me a question and I'll get like a percentage based on how things are going. I also like to call the Akashic records. Now, just think of this, the Akashic records, okay? Just think of, like, if you're in a library. And I just, when I was in school and I had to take pharmacology, right? And I had or even when I had to have the DSM-5 when I was in psychology, a huge thick book, right, with all the diagnoses, or a pharmacology book with all the drugs interactions. And just two of the hugest books that I ever had to learn and study was those two books. Like, I think back of that, and I was just like, it was so much. Those books were so much, and you had to learn so much of them. Think of the Akashic Records as one of those, that's your book, you know? That's your big, gigantic book. And before you come here, you know, first of all, you decide you're coming back. This is the time of life I want to come. This is who I want to come with. And you come with, usually in soul groups, little soul families. And you're like, I'm going to come this time, and this time I'm going to be your brother. This time I'm going to be your sister. This time I'm going to be your mother. This time we're going to be lovers again. And, you know, you have all these soul contracts within your soul family. And, you know, you've pretty much, let's just, you know, just for analogies here or ways that you can think of it, like in the human world, I like to explain it that way. So it's not exactly this way, but for you to understand it, think of this big book, right? And all the contracts that you're making with all these people. And just think of you like signing on the dotted line, say. You know, of course it's not like this, but think of this. You're signing on the dotted line. You're saying, okay, I'm going to come here, and you're going to be my mother, and you're going to be like an asshole mother, and I'm going to be the daughter that's abused, and okay, cool. And you pretty much high-five each other. And then you say to your guy or your girl, whoever it is, I'm going to come here, we're going to be married, and you're going to be rotten and no good and abusive, and you pretty much high-five each other. Go, cool, let's do that. You know, because last time you were the rotten one. Okay, this time I'm the rotten one. Ha, 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 let's go try. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, high-five, let's get with it. It's no big deal, you know what I mean? Because that's what you want to learn. You come here because you're like, last time I did this, okay, let's go for this. And then when we get down here and we have all these human emotions and stuff, it gets all crazy, because we're like, oh my God, this person's doing this to me, this person's doing that to me, blah, 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 blah. You know, but that's part of your soul contract. So when people say, is this inevitable? They ask me a lot. Well, I call it Roman numerals. I say, you know, when I'm looking at someone's life, I'm talking to the council, I pretty much see like an outline. And I always use this analogy of like when you're in school and you're writing a paper. I always remember picking my fucking a topic. Oh my God, you know, you pick the topic, and I always remember my professors being, okay, make it less broad. So you get your topic, and then you got to make your, you know, Roman numeral 1, Roman numeral 2, and everything in between, right? So just think of this, your Akashic records, your topic, that's your life, right? The journey of the soul. And the topic is, I'm going to come and be, some people want to come and be rich, like, you know, I'm going to come and I'm going to be a millionaire. You know, that's your top, one of your Roman numerals, right? So you're picking that. Another person says, I'm going to come and I'm going to live on the street. I'm going to be homeless. That's, you know, one of your Roman numerals. Yeah, I'm going to come and I'm going to have a mental disorder. You know, I'm going to be bipolar, schizophrenic. You choosing that, you know, you signed for that. It's one of your Roman numerals. So I always used to wonder again when I was new, how come I can clearly see some things, right? Because I could clearly see the Roman numerals. At that time, I didn't know what I was seeing when I was younger. So the Roman numerals, you always see. That's going to happen. So when people ask me something about their life, I clearly see those big Roman numerals because that's written. You signed for it. It's in your records. It's going to happen. So those little in-betweens, the A, Bs, and Cs, within those Roman numerals, that's kind of where the free will comes in and things like this. So it gets a little tricky here because, I'm always like, hashtag pass your fucking test. Like I always talk about that, right? So how come you don't always hashtag pass your fucking test? Sometimes you're in that damn lesson for a long time, and everyone knows, and you guys all, my regular clients all know that I'm sticking those lessons in for a long ass time. And how come I know what to do? How come I'm not hashtag passing my fucking test, right? Because I want to advance my soul. I want to move to a higher soul level. But you get stuck in this lesson because, you're not passing it. Why not? Well, because either you're not ready to, based on your Akashic records, you're supposed to stay in it a little longer to learn more, or the person that you signed that soul contract with, you're not dealing just with you in some of these issues. You're dealing with that person you signed the soul contract with. You're still playing their part. Pretty much let's call yourself a martyr here, right? Because you said you're going to sign up for this. So that's a lot of the times too. You're not dealing with just you. You might be ready to pass your test, but you still have to be this martyr for this other person who you have this soul contract with. And that makes people feel a lot frustrated because their soul is pretty much like, hey, I got my shit together. I'm passing my test. We got this little deal here, and you're over here screwing your part up. But it goes hand in hand, and this is where time is an illusion. So everyone's, people ask me this a lot too. Well, how come I'm still in my lesson? I didn't pass my test. Like, isn't this in my soul contract, whatever, that I'm going to learn this, I'm going to pass my test? But mind you, we're just energy, right? Energy, that is it. We're in this, body or whatever, but we were born before, most of us. Most of us were reborn again. We just keep moving the energy, okay? So think of this. Say you didn't pass your fucking test, right? And you died. You didn't pass whatever one of your tests were. It doesn't matter because that energy still is going to come back and go through another lifetime with passing your test again if that's what you want. So it's not so important because you're still learning. So that's where things get a little tricky here in your Akashic records, your soul journey. You got to think of time as a loop. And it gets tricky too when people say, people get so caught up in this. And, I do get caught up in some things. I do get caught up in some of the society rules, and there's a part of me, and everyone will know this, that, I get caught up in this, and I can't always get the answer to this question. And one of the things that really bothers me about it is, like, I very OCD with knowing the answers or what this is. And I clearly knew since I was a kid, since I can remember. I remember there was a part of me that always knew I was supposed to be free. Nobody was going to tell me what to do. No one's going to tell me what time I had to be there. I was continuously late since I was little. I just rebelled against time. I always late for everything since school, since a kid. It never made sense to me what this whole time of being on time was. I just, it's just a freedom thing. I couldn't go with that society rule. I didn't like so much about what society said. I knew that I was never going to be able to work. I tried, as you all know, to work a real job. That never worked because someone was telling me what time I had to be there and what time I could eat lunch and for how long. It just seems so insane because we're free souls. And then you put us here in this world, and this Akashic records that we're signing, we're coming here to be free. We don't come here to imprison ourselves. So when we get put up against these constraints, it's tough. And people always wonder, they're down here and they're doing all these things, all these rotten things, but all these rotten things, let's say rotten thing is, cheating on a spouse or whatever. That, it's kind of rotten. Like, even I believe that, I totally believe in, like, monogamy and having a real soul connection, one-on-one partner. I believe that, no, it's not easy for sure, but there's ways around it, or, there's always some kind of way to, I do believe in that. I believe that, to have that connection. But some people will get so caught up in that. And it's not for everybody. A lot of people can have that open type relationship because that's their soul journey or whatever it is. That's when you just got to vibrate to somebody that has more of your connection and be where you're at. So you can't get so caught up in this society of the rules of things, because we're not here to follow all these rules. All these rules are so man-made down here. And that definitely that's not part of our records. Like when we come here, we don't even think of it, because remember, time is an illusion. Society has changed so much from 100 years ago. It's changed so much, and now things are so different. So we don't think of all the new changes, technology and politics and all that. We don't think of all that in our Akashic record when we come here. We just think of all the freedom of the energy. So when we're writing our Akashic records, we're not writing like, oh, I'm going to, get fired from my job because I can't be on time all the time. Like, all that stuff is irrelevant. That's where all like the free will comes in, A, B, and C. We're just looking at those Roman numerals in our Akashic records. Roman numeral 1, for example, I'm going to come to this world and I'm going to be blind. So I want to see what that's like. Roman numeral 2, I'm going to, be married and be the mother of 3 children. Roman numeral 3, I'm going to lose one of my children at, age 7. Roman numeral 4, my husband will die of cancer young. Like, these things we pick. That's our Akashic records. Those are the bold numbers that we've chosen. All the in between, like, after my child dies, I don't pick that I'm going to suffer forever, need grievance counseling, whatever. I don't think of that. That's like the free will kind of thing in there, where you're going with that. Are you going to be able to heal from that? I chose that I'm going to have a child die, for sure, but I didn't choose how I'm going to handle that. That's something that's in your free will. We want to make sure that, you advance your soul level. So some people might break down and not handle that death of a child well. Does that mean they're not passing their test? Well, it could if one of your tests is, I'm going to put myself through a death of a child just so that I know that I'm going to be strong enough to be there for my other children. Yes, that could be one of your tests for sure, or one of your lessons that you want to learn, that you want to make it through. It's something you have chosen. So it's so much, it's so intricate. And then there's people, again, that interact with us with these soul contracts. That would be, death of a child. The child comes and they say that I'm going to die young. And, you both pretty much, again, agree to something like that. That's one of your bold-faced numbers that you've already agreed to. But do you agree to the fact that, you're going to, some things can loop around. Like, say you're going to get married at 22. I want to be married at 22. That's not so specific in your Akashic records. You do say, I want to come to this world and get married, but that doesn't always happen, by the way. You say you want to come here, but let's look at all this free will, right? I'm going to come here, I'm going to marry Joe. And then Joe vibrates the other way, and you're both trying to find each other. So it's not like a perfect system. Just because it's written in your records doesn't necessarily mean it's all going to play itself out. It's like an outline. It doesn't always it's not always going to happen, even though it's something that you say is going to happen. And that's what would confuse me as a new reader, because I was always like, how come I can't see, like, I clearly saw you're going to get married? Well, because I'm talking to the council, and the Akashic record says, Roman numeral 7, you're getting married. Well, how come, it's not happening? So this is where my psychic ability kicks in, and I also remote view. So I look at the energy, and this is where I get a percentage. Based on all the energy, this, and this is going to happen, right? I add it up together, and I put it in based on the energy. So then I remote view and look at different situations, and people know I do that as well. So you have to know that this Akashic records is a huge, huge record, and there's so many soul contracts in there and energy. So it's not always going to be 100%. It's not. It's different percentages. But when we come here and we do have these soul contracts, the Akashic records, everything we say we're going to do, we're sure we're going to do it. It's kind of just like when you take a class in college, right? You take a class in college. You don't take it saying, I'm going to fail that class. You really think you're going to pass. You know, when you get married, you don't say, well, some people do. But, you know, when you get married, you pretty much say, like, I'm going to go to this marriage and I'm going to, you know, fail this marriage. No, you get married, most of you, because you think this marriage is going to work. So that's the same thing when you sign your soul contracts or you pass your test. You think you're going to pass it, but you do get stuck in lessons. And hell, I know, like, I'm stuck in a lesson that just repeats itself, you know, and when do you get out of it? That, you know, that's part of your journey. That's part of your test. You get out of it when your energy is ready to vibrate to the next level. Either you learned your lessons, the person you signed your contracts with, everything happens and you all vibrate to another level. And you move ahead and you're past your test and things go the way it goes. It's so, and as I talk to the council and look, like, our team, the spirit guides that come and go in your life, because we have spirit guides that come for different reasons, and we have spirit animals, we have, you know, our past relatives, our ancestors, we have a lot of people guiding us to help you, a lot of people in our ear. But again, the hierarchy is the council. They're CEOs of heaven. They're the universal energy. They guide us. They've written everything. They know. Even our guides don't know what the council knows, you know. They're just like subservients to them. So they're just helping you. But it's council's like the highest you can get to. And it's funny because someone asked me, and I forget who this was. Oh, I just did a gallery last weekend. And this is funny. I did the gallery at this house in Philadelphia, and I've lived in New York for so many years, 17 years, right? So I don't drive much on the highway, especially the highways in Philadelphia. So especially at night, right? So one of the girls, Nicole, was having the gallery at her boss's house. So she's like, I'll pick you up in South Philly, and then I'll drive down 95. But then she sent her sister Stacy, her mom Rose, and they picked me up in South Philly. And it was so funny because this is like the universe. We got lost of the GPS. We drove around. We were late for the gallery, probably like 40 minutes, right? Because the GPS went off, right? But on the way back was even crazier. There was an explosion on 95. It literally took us like 4 hours. I took a tour of all Philadelphia. I hit every part. We were in Center City, Old City, like everything, Kensington, Fishtown. We've been through, it was like a tour, a safari tour of Philly. But so we had a lot of time to talk. And Stacy was asking me about the council. And she said to me, well, she's like, how do you know you're contacting council? I forget what she said. And I remember asking one night, I was just in channel, and I said, like, who are you? And they said, the council. And then probably months later, I can't remember how long, I was reading a book by some famous psychic, Sylvia Brown, I think. And she was talking in her book about channeling the council. At that time, I was like, oh my God, that was such a confirmation for me, because I was like, that's amazing. Like, that's who they said they were. So here, I guess, that's who she as well was channeling, the council. Super amazing for me. Super, super cool. And so we were speaking about that. And I think, like, I was debating, like, New York's a tough life. I was like, okay, move back to Philadelphia. Not sure, like, if I'm going to like Philadelphia. Not sure. Well, it's so funny because how the universe moves us. I really think the reason that everything that blew up, we were in that car for 4 hours. I was trying to meet another friend for dinner. I didn't make it, but it was because I needed to take a tour of Philly. I know, if I haven't really taken a tour of Philly in so long, but I know everything about Philly, every part of Philly. And then even coming back after we got off the explosion for hours on 95, we stopped at Wawa, of course, for lunch or dinner at 10 o'clock at night. I don't even know, late. And then a whole protest went through Center City, and we had to go all the way around again down Ray Street. It was just like, it was crazy traffic, but you know what? We made the best of it. Had a lot of fun, and we talked a lot about the council and, how I started channeling them. And I've always been talking to the council, always. I just didn't know who they were until I started really, I think, probably before my show, or I did, I was a pet psychic on that show, Rescue Inc. And even then, I wasn't really channeling the council. I was working through the animals, and even though, again, I was talking to the council my whole life, I didn't know I was. I just thought, I was just talking to, I don't know, I knew things, I guess. I didn't have a name for it until I realized, exactly now, obviously I know and can talk to them, and they answer all my questions and tell me who they are, what they do, and now I have a deeper understanding of exactly who I channel and what they have to say. And I also know that channeling the council, looking at the Akashic records, it is, man, we're so blessed to be here on earth because it gives us such a chance to elevate our soul. When we come here in heaven, we go to school, we learn, we do different things. Some of us are, if we're more advanced souls, we can guide people. We can come in as helper spirit guides. We want to advance. And just like everyone, to be a judge here, I guess the federal court judges or, Supreme Court, that's the top, to be one of those judges. And obviously vice president, that's kind of like God and Jesus and the stuff. And the council is kind of, I guess, the Supreme Court judges or something like that. But then we have all the other spirit guides, and they're kind of just Congress, I guess. So when we go to heaven, we can elevate our soul still because we're in school, we're taking on little jobs up there. We're still advancing our soul, but it's nothing. The advancement that we come here is just we're thrown in time. And even when I'm doing a gallery and I'm channeling, even when I am talking to dead people, and everyone knows the way I do a gallery is, the spirits are coming into me from all different dimensions. I call it a house of mirrors. So I might talk to one spirit who's in one spot, another spirit's in another. And even though Grandma and Grandpa were married, they're not necessarily in the same spot. Sometimes I find them together, they come together. But sometimes, they'll be oh, I really wanted to talk to my grandma. Grandma didn't come through. Grandma could be in school, in a different dimension. I can't get to her right now because she's busy. She's learning. She's elevating her soul. So there is elevation of the soul over there, but nothing coming down here. And it's kind of a faster thing because time is different. And even when I'm listening to spirit, they talk so fast, Things are happening so fast. I can't catch up. Here, everything's slowed down. It's almost like gravity just slows you down. This is slower here. So when I listen to spirit over there, it's so fast. Everything is time is just fast. I got to catch it real fast. Sometimes I'll be I'll get the name Jane, or I'll hear the initial J, or Arga. I'll hear it because it happens fast because it's a different dimension. So we all want to come here if we're brave enough. It's kind of I did some spiritual journeys in my life, which I talk about. When you do them, you're kind of just you're thrown into holy shit, you're thrown into this world where you're seeing things and things all come to you, and you definitely see a lot of your lessons, and you process that much later afterwards, and it all comes to you. But that's kind of what this is when we get thrown down here. It's always funny. I always laugh about babies. Babies are crying. They come out crying, right? They're always coming out crying. I'm you know why those babies are crying? Those babies are crying because they're damn, I'm thrown into this world. Holy shit, here I go, I'm scared. That's kind of when you do a spiritual journey, you're thrown in there, and you're oh my God, you're scared. And then you just got to relax in it. Just if you're doing a spiritual journey, once you get thrown in there, and then you get through the tunnel and you're in it, you just got to relax and ride that journey out for 10, 15 minutes, however long that journey lasts. You just ride it out. And that's what happens when we're born. And we're shifted down here in a baby. We're like, oh, my God, oh, shit, we're here. You just got to just ride the journey out. You can't take everything so serious. Not that, I mean, trust me, I'm human. I'm down here taking things serious too, but I got to try to remember who I am. I'm just some energy down here just trying to advance my soul. So when I go back to heaven, I'm on a different level, and I'm a little bit more advanced, and I learned a little more in my position. I get a better spot over there, I'm better, I'm more advanced. So you got to just take things light down here and not get so caught up in everything. And yes, easier said than done. Everyone's in a rush down here. We got to finish this. I got to hurry up. Oh, my God. I'm almost, 35. I didn't get married yet. I have kids. Oh, my God. Just like, it doesn't matter. This thing is so fast. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as, it's hard. Yeah, this life is hard for sure. But the easier you can just relax. Know that, you have these records. You plan things out. You have this whole support team behind you here. And you're here. And you're here and then you're gone. It's so fast. It really is fast. Just relax into it. Don't fight the journey, man. Just chill out and relax. You're in it. You've come here. You're in it. You can't get out. Just like when you do the first spiritual journey I did, I was like, oh, my God, I am scared. I just remember being thinking my teeth were falling out. I was so scared. Then after I did it, I just learned how to relax. You got to relax in it. So, okay, guys, well, it's coming towards almost chat time, and you know how I always like to do some type of universal reading for you guys when I'm on here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys a message and see if this resonates with you, and I'm going to give you a manifestation, and if you follow me, you know how that works. Follow my Instagram at Psychic Medium Dr. Gina Marie, and we can all practice together. So this message, I use my cards for this. So as you all know, I use the Rider-Waite deck, and I just, I always channel when I do my messages. So it is a channeled message, even though I use my cards. And this message is for, again, whoever this resonates with. This message is going to pick up for somebody out there. It might be 5 people, might be 10, might be 1. I don't know, but it's for somebody. So I usually just pull 5 cards and just give you a message, okay? So I'm going to pull the cards now. Great message already. Oh, I love the message already. Okay, hold on for a second, guys. Get this message going here. And okay. All right. So, here we go. You are, this is a message that's showing me, your power is coming to you, your whole career is coming together. You're in power, you're confident, your career, your dream, your passion, you're living it. You're at the top. This is pretty much for someone that's spiritual or on a spiritual path, because it's showing me so much intuition that's coming to you, so much higher messages, so much higher knowledge. You're going to be traveling. You're celebrating. You're going to be having a relationship. You're going to be coming together. You're having a communion, a commitment, joining together. Everything in your life, this is the most powerful message, man. This is a super good message because it's showing me just a power couple, power connection, celebration, traveling, higher career. Again, this is a spiritual person. This is giving you higher messages. You are advancing. You're coming to such an amazing apex in your life. It couldn't be much better in every area of your life, from relationship to finance to travel to power, your intuition, all your abilities. So the manifestation for this is a super crazy manifestation. Let's see who gets this. Manifestation is seeing the next 3 or 4 days if you can find one of these or make it appear. It's like one of those hats, that the warriors wear. It has the 2 kind of horns. It's a crazy little metal hat. When people go to war, it's almost like the Vikings wear. It's a Viking hat. So that's the manifestation. If the manifestation is, try to see if you see it. If it comes up in a picture or you see it, it comes in a crazy way, or 3 to 4 days. It's how we practice manifesting. And if you're following me, we always practice small manifesting so then we can work up to the big ones. Okay, so I'm going to bring Shay on, and we're going to go over the chat. So come on, Shay, and let's see what we got going on in chat, okay?
Hey.
Hi, Shay. Thank you. What do we got going on in chat?
Well, before we get into the questions, there's a couple comments from earlier that I want to let you know. Michelle says, "My favorite witch, Gina. I love you. You're the real effing deal."
Thank you, Michelle.
Anna Marie says the counselor has been guiding her for a couple years, and she finally passed her test. Thank you, Gina.
She did. Yes, she did.
So,
thank you.
Yes.
That's funny.
And
she's the one who I was trying to make dinner, and I didn't make dinner because we were in the Philadelphia blow up.
That's funny.
Okay.
Joanna and Michelle claiming your reading for them.
So, my message is okay?
Yeah.
Joanne and Michelle? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
And Lisa says she is watching a show with men in Viking hats right now. So.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yes.
That's a quick manifestation. I love it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here's our first
question.
Good
job, Lisa.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that. Joanna wants to know, can we connect with our ancestors that are deceased if they are reincarnated to Earth again? That's a good question.
That is a good question. I know this question, but I know it like it's regular Gina, but I'm going to channel this so it's a better answer because regular Gina just be like, yeah, you can. But let's talk to the council. So hold on. See, that's the question that you're asking because if your ancestors, obviously they're in your soul group, they're in your soul family, they're there. But if they are reincarnated on Earth, they're not necessarily the ones that are here to guide you. So the ones that you're going to connect to are the ones that are still in spirit form, that are guiding you. The ones that are down here on Earth, there is a chance you could talk to their higher self, the higher soul, but they're not really in that position. That they're working on their own soul journey, their own soul path at the time they're here reincarnated. So not most likely you're going to be connecting to them. You will be connecting to the ones that are still in spirit form. So, hey, regular Gina was wrong. You guess you can't. So that's the answer to that question.
Check in for. So does that mean like when a medium does gallery readings, I'm picturing like, and they give messages. If somebody's already reincarnated and they're back here reincarnated, you can't connect with them because their soul's back here, right?
No. Well, here's the thing. This is what I find too.
Okay.
When I'm doing gallery readings, I'll be connecting to someone. I'll be like, I'm connecting to Julie. Julie did, and she's like, that's my mom, and she's still alive. And right away I go, she has dementia, right? And yes, how do you know? Well, because I'm connecting to her. She's still alive, but I'm connecting to her. That means her soul slips. They go back and forth to each side. I'm connecting to them. However, I've connected to people's mothers, fathers, family, higher self that are still alive. I'm clearly talking to their soul while their body's in California doing whatever. And I'm talking to that mother. And they're like, my mom's alive. But I'm still talking to their soul, their higher soul. Doesn't matter. I'm talking to them. That happens to me because that mother's soul needs to talk to the child, and they're not listening. So I'm connecting on a soul level, giving a message for someone alive. So when someone has reincarnated, can I talk to that soul? I've done it before. My mother has reincarnated. My mom died when I was 2 months old. She's reincarnated. She's been reincarnated. But I am able to, I'm not always able to connect to her, but I am. But it's not as easy, and it doesn't come as often. It's different. But I will still get messages, even though she is reincarnated. She came back, But I do connect. It's just that it's kind of not so readily available. She might be busy doing something. I can't connect. But then there's times like when I astral travel, for one. Like if I'm astral traveling everybody can talk to me. You know, I'm connecting all the time. But when I'm down here being regular Gina, like people, the spirits that talk to me, they can't always talk to me because I'm here doing regular human stuff. So I'm not always available. And that's just how it is, too, with spirit. Like, sometimes people go to gallery and just be so upset because so-and-so didn't come through, you know, and they just weren't available. That's all.
I get that.
So.
Okay, thank you. Carol
Any other
Ann,
questions?
Yep. Carol Ann wants to know, how can I better align myself with my soul purpose?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is Carol that I know. Just answer me, Carol, if this is you. Carol, that was just at my last gallery, Joanna's mom's friend. Let's just make sure that's her. But I think so. So I would say, how do you connect to your soul purpose? Like, talk to me and I'll talk to the counselor. No, but you just, like, you know, it kind of guides you. Like, I just remember, like, for me, like, everyone knows my story.
Yes, it is her, by the way.
I spent 10 and a half years. Oh, it is? Okay. Yeah. I spent 10 and a half years getting a doctorate degree. And then what happens? I go to court, I lose my medical license, right? I get it back because I'm determined, just to lose again in July, to be pushing me into full-time mediumship. Like, if you have a passion or you have a soul purpose here, the universe pushes you towards it. Like, I was asked out. They're just like, this is what you have to do. Like, you align to it because it shows you where to go. It's almost like you're sick. You're messed up. You can't, if you're not on your soul's path or purpose, you're in chaos, man. Complete chaos. It just feels like hell. You're stuck. You just got to find your way. So how do you align to it? And mostly, like, you can definitely do meditation and talk to yourself, and that's not always going to come to you while you meditate, for sure. It's kind of just like a spiritual journey. Like, it doesn't always come to you till, like, after. And then all of a sudden, like, you just connect, and then it clicks with you, and you're just like, oh, I get it. But for me, like, the universe has been pushing me and showing me and guiding me, and it's just mostly about talking to your guides, talking to spirit, asking them for signs, showing you things, looking for signs, staying open, and they'll guide you. They want to guide you, but you got to talk to them. I remember it was like last week or even 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. I remember just being like, I just need to talk to my angels, man. I really need you guys. Like, I need some help. And they just showed up. They started showing me and talking to me like they want you to talk to them. I asked them. I just said to you, I need you guys. And the things they just started showing me, like, mind-blowing. Like, you can't deny it. You just got to ask. And they're there for you. So, we got anything else?
Nope, that's all the questions I see.
Okay. All right. So I hope that I'm answering everyone's questions. So since I answered the most questions, it looks like I still have a few minutes left. I'll tell you guys a little story about me. I went to Eastern State Penitentiary a couple weeks ago. That's in Philadelphia. And it's not, I know Shay's been there, but Shay, you actually did a ghost tour there, right?
No,
is that what you did?
We did a few small investigations in a few different areas, but we didn't get like an official. We didn't do like a ghost tour with a group or anything. It was just us.
Just okay.
Yeah.
So I want to bring that up because that's a whole different world. I remember when I was at Eloise, like connecting the spirits. I did a gallery actually at Eloise, and there was a few other psychic mediums there. And I remember thinking, like, I always like to hide in the room before I go do a gallery or go on. Everyone knows that. So, and then I come out and I move furniture and do whatever because I'm the crazy medium. But I remember doing that gallery there, and like as soon as I go into channel, like I had all the patients who were nuts, and they're still nuts because they're earthbound, so they still have the same personality. And I had to have the doctors and nurses' spirits like hold them back so I could connect like to other spirits like that. So that's crazy because like this confuses me sometimes because I have to get more clear on this a little bit because I go back to the Akashic records, like, and I think like, is that written in your Akashic records that you're going to be like an earthbound soul spirit? Like that is like, because these patients are still mentally disturbed, right? They're still there. And when I was at Eastern State Penitentiary and the spirits that were there, they're still like incarcerated. So that's kind of like, is that part of your soul's journey? Like, I ask that, and I hear people say, is that in your Akashic records? Did you choose to be this stuck soul energy spirit to be earthbound? And is that something that's written? That started confusing me after I went to like Eastern State, after I did Eloise, and I wanted to ask the council, like, I wanted to ask that, is that written in my Akashic records? Are those souls, those energies, are they going to be stuck there? Like, did they say that that's part of my next journey? And then no, they didn't. That's something that, let's call that a fluke in the energy. That's not written. Now you're stuck. You could be stuck there for a while. You're earthbound. You don't roll over. You don't elevate. You don't move levels. That's not what you chose in your Akashic records, People don't choose that. So that energy is kind of like stuck. It needs to move out. That's why so many people went like earthbound to cross over, because they want to keep elevating. They want to move. You want to get back into your Akashic records. You're pretty much, as an earthbound, you're hashtag failing your test, right? Because you're not elevating. You're kind of still stuck there. And I seen that at Eloise, and I seen it again at Eastern State with that type of spirit. And I needed to see like what was going on here. Why do they need that? They're kind of stuck, and that's why people, a lot of mediums, or a lot of soul people, whatever, they want to bring these spirits over to cross because they're not elevating their energy. That's kind of still stuck, So
we do have one more quick question if you have time.
Yeah, sure.
We got it a minute ago. So Michelle would like to know if she doesn't ask her spirits for help. I think she means spirits guides. I'm not sure. If this is, I'll read it word for word for you. Sorry. If I don't ask my spirits for help, will they still do it because they know I am struggling?
Yeah, they're always there guiding you, kicking you, pushing you, showing you the way. Yeah, you don't have to always ask them for sure. You have to ask the angels, by the way, for some reason. I don't know why. But you need to ask them. They're not coming down. But your spirit guides that are there for you, or even the spirit guides that come and go, they come to show you and push you. They're there. They're there anyway. Yeah. It's nice. They like to be acknowledged and talked to for sure, and thanked and appreciated, but they're still there doing their job. Angels, nah. Angels, they're there. Angels do come. Oh, you need some comfort. They're coming. But angels pretty much, you ask them and they'll do it. I found, other people might find something different, but I found that when I say, hey, angels, they're just like, thank you for asking me. I'm here. What do you need? I'll do it. Like, they're just like a bunch of little kids, I find, that just are so excited. They're ready to help me. So that's what I find. I don't, other people might find something different, but that's just what I find.
Yeah. Nice. Good answer. One more comment. Nicole says, hi, Gina, can't believe you still haven't made it back to New York. LOL.
That was Nicole was the whole gallery reading my first tour. We had a really cool gallery. We had a lot of fun. We talked to a lot of spirit. It was a cool, before I got to that gallery, because it was like, I had come in from New York early. It was Saturday. I did the gallery reading, and I was like, I always get nervous when I do galleries. I still do, because I'm always want to make sure spirit's going to show up, like, are the dead people going to come through? I still get nervous. Like, I've been doing it for, a long time, but I always want to make sure, am I going to have a good connection? Did I eat right? Am I clear? Did I meditate? What do I have fucked up going on in my life? Can I disconnect? Like, I get nervous. So I'm coming down from New York. Everything was great, smooth ride. And then Nicole's sister picks me up, and we get lost on the GPS. I'm trying to remain calm in a meditative state because I got to go do a gallery to a whole bunch of people, and I got to connect to all their dead people. And I was late, and I was trying to center, and I was supposed to go out to dinner with Anna Marie after. So I was trying to, like, concenter, plus all the shit that's going on in my regular life. And I was, like, begging the dead people to come through. I'm like, come on, guys, like, you got to all come through. But, the gallery was really good, and all the dead people came through. But it was just stressful, for sure. So, yeah, Nicole, it was fun, though. Good gallery, thank God.
Yeah, she said it was a great time.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. And mind you, you can follow me on my Instagram, and I do readings sometimes, and I do my lives for weird weekends, and I need to do more lives on my stuff. So feel free to, like, comment on my social media. Tell me any topics you want to talk about, any suggestions, anything that you think I could do better. Even if you have like a question or you want to go and you think something I said isn't right, tell me. I like to hear your opinions, and everyone gets something different. I'm not always saying it's my way or the highway. So I appreciate you all for listening, and I'm looking forward to our next show. So thank you, Shay, again. Thank you, Matt.
December 2nd is our next show.
December 2nd.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Great show. And
all right. So I will see you and talk to you all soon.
Good night, guys.
All right. All right. Good night. Thanks, Shay. Good night. All right. Bye.
Celebrate the big 2020 with T-Mobile. Switch now and get 2 lines for just $90 and 2 new iPhone 11s on us. So you can take a portrait built for 2 with the ultra-wide camera.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, cute.
Hurry in to T-Mobile and get 2 lines for $90 and 2 iPhone 11s on us with qualifying trade-ins.
Via 24 credits for well-qualified buyers with autopay, plus taxes and fees. If you cancel before receiving 24 credits, you may owe up to the full value of your device of $699.99. Contact us. Qualifying port-ins and finance agreements required.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to
pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.